Hello everyone, I'm bringing you another video here today, and in my previous video about how to install NCAA 14 and the College Revamped mod, people were having issues, so I'm going to bring you another video tutorial on how to do that. So the first thing you need to do, this is from my old stuff that I was deleting some stuff, so that's why that just popped up. But so the first thing you need to do is go to rpcs3.net, click on download, come down to Windows because we're doing the tutorial on Windows, and then download the zip file. I've already done it. Click on this as well, install Microsoft Visual C++ 2019, and click save. And then that's pretty much all you need from this site. The only other thing you need is the firmware update for the emulator. So to get that, we will do that later. So it takes like 2 seconds to actually do that. But the next thing you need to do is go to ROMs for Fun. Game itself, you should have these files right here. You should have the game itself, the emulator, and the redistributable package. So let's go ahead and run this to make sure that you have it on your computer. If it says repair, uninstall, and close, you can go ahead and close, but if it does not show this, you need to install that. The next thing you need to do is open up rpcs3, the actual package here, and then you want to put and extract all these files wherever you want the emulator and the game to go. So for me, I just want to click WinRAR and extract to that folder name, and let's go ahead and refresh. There we go. So there's the folder name right in there, and then this is the emulator itself. Now let's launch this for the very first time to get that firmware patch. So basically it tells you about the emulator and how it's basically a quick start guide. You want to go ahead and click here because as you can see, it's a first time install of the PlayStation 3 firmware. Click on that, and then you want to scroll all the way down to this PlayStation 3 system software required, and then go down to I'm updating using a computer, and go ahead and click download PS3 update. I've already have it downloaded, but I'll just go ahead and download it again. It might say that it can harm your computer. You want to click here and allow download. I'm going to close these. And then now, since we're waiting for this to download and you want to go to this website, it's the GitHub page for the College Football Revamped mod. You want to scroll all the way down to here where you can choose from PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. We are focusing on PC. The PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, these are the mods specifically for those consoles, like the actual console. We're doing PC because we're emulating it in PS3. So you want to click PC. It is a physical disk copy because we have an ISO image. That's technically a physical disk. I want to use the score bug for ESPN. And then this is what, not necessarily what controller you prefer, it's what buttons you want to appear in the game itself. I like Xbox controller, so I'm going to choose that. And then down here, you want to click PC disk. And then go ahead and click download. And then I've already had it downloaded right here. It is a PKG file, so all we have to do is drag and drop this into our emulator, and it will be good to go. Now, for this page, you want to keep this up because we want to make sure that you delete games.yml. If this is your very first time using an emulator, you don't have to do this. And the other big thing, we have to get this name convention for our file folder. So I want to Control-C that right now, and it tells you to place it into a folder called dev_hdd0/disk/. So we can do that in just a moment. I just want to double check to see if that has been downloaded fully. Yep, it says complete. So let's minimize this. If you don't want this to pop up all the time, just don't show me again. And you've read all the quick start guide, continue. And then right now you have no game and no update. So the first thing you need to do to even make the emulator work, you want to click on File, install a firmware patch, go into Desktop here, and then there's my folder, and go wherever you downloaded this pup file. I select this, open it up, and it should take a few seconds to install. It says it installed successfully, and then it will pop up a new window. I'll drag it over here, and it has to install basically the firmware onto the emulator. This is similar to a system update on the PS3, and should only take maybe a minute or less. So while this is doing that, let's go back to NCAA 14 folder, go into the emulator, go to dev_hdd0, and then we want to create a new folder called disk with a C. And I want to refresh this so it's alphabetical. And then you want to go into here. Whoops. Let me double check something really quickly. It looks like those things got done installing the firmware patch. This is my old emulator folder. I just want to double check just so I got the name conventions right, because I want to make sure that I do this for you guys correctly. So once you're in here in disk, you want to create a new folder and name it this right here. So where we got this text is from the okay, I might have college football revamped. I need to go back to this page for you guys. So once we get everything completed with the firmware update, you want to make sure that you rename it to this, like right here. So it's BLUS31159 dash, and then the NCAA Football 14's in brackets. And you want to create it under dev_hdd0 disk. So that's what we just did right here. So dev_hdd disk. And then that's created right here. That's where we want to put the game. So let me open up another tab here. Move it over here. And then we want to go into desktop because that's where I have everything saved in this nifty tutorial folder. And then right here, we want to extract the game itself. So it's a zip file right now. I want to click extract here. It should only extract an ISO file. So that's going to take about 30 seconds for me. It might take a little bit longer for you guys. So to recap, so far we've checked to make sure this is installed. We've extracted the emulator and ran the emulator. We installed the firmware update. And then now we are installing the actual game into the emulator. So let me go ahead and click refresh because for some reason Windows doesn't like to refresh anymore for me. Now you want to double click this ISO image. It should open it up as a volume on your computer. So it thinks it's an actual disk on your computer, hence the physical disk version of the game. So once you're inside the disk, you want to highlight all this stuff and click copy. Go back into your emulator folder, go down to HDD0, go into disk, the blue S31159, and then we want to paste all this stuff into there. Go ahead and refresh, and then now it should be good to go. We want to exit, go back to the emulator, and boot it up and make sure that the firmware has been updated and the game. So there we got the firmware, the PS3 interface, and the actual game itself. So now all we have to do is go back into where you downloaded the package file for the Revamped mod, which is right here. We want to pull up the emulator, and then you want to click on it and drag it on top. Click yes. And this might take a few minutes, but it all depends on your system. I'll show you what I'm running with, just so you guys can basically gauge on what you can expect. I have 32 gigs of RAM, a Ryzen 7 5800X 8-core processor, and an RTX 4070 Ti. The emulator does require a heavy, intensive CPU usage, so I recommend an 8-core. Anything modern, basically. It doesn't really matter about the GPU as long as it can run most games on medium to high. That should be fine. But like I said, the emulator usually is reliant on the CPU. So after this is done successfully installing, it'll say successful installed, and everything down here is green. The actual icon of the game will change to the College Revamped logo. The last thing you need to do is go to configuration, GPU, and it might be on legacy single-threaded or async multi-threaded. You want to not have that. You want to do async with shader interpreter, and you want to right color buffers. Click apply and save. Now you want to right click and create LLVM cache. And then this process might take anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. But I'm going to let it run through just so you guys can see what is happening. So you don't miss anything, no cuts of the video or anything like that. The only thing that would take some time is downloading all the stuff for this to be required. You're basically downloading the game, which is about 7 gigs, and the Revamped mod is about 7 to 8 gigs, I think, or maybe it's 7 gigs as well. So you're downloading about 15 gigs in total of just game and mods. The other like 200 megabytes is like the emulator, the other things that are required, like the software update, the firmware update. But all this other stuff that I'm showing you in the video, it should go decently quickly. But like I said, it depends on your system. It says I about have a minute left. So this is just compiling all the files required to run the game, basically. Mainly the different modules, and it's kind of like compiling the actual code of the game, so you don't have to keep on compiling it to play the game. And also this is creating caches and shader caches, so it can run the game immediately. So this compiling and doing this every single time, you don't have to do it every time. You just have to, once this is done, you just have to right click the game over here and click boot. In this case it says reboot because technically it is booted, compiling everything. But yeah, you don't have to do this every single time. Normally if you want to play the game, you know, every single time you have to rerun it, it generally takes about a minute or less to actually boot up, so just keep that in mind. And it looks like some of the stuff is not being configured correctly. Just ignore that stuff. It should work 100%. It's actually still analyzing everything. And the other thing that I want to let you guys know, you want to click on pads, and depending on what controller you're using, you want to change this. So you obviously cannot play the game with a keyboard. It's just not going to work. So you would want to change it to DualShock 3, 4, or DualSense. That's strictly PS3, PS4, and PS5 type controllers, or PlayStation controllers. Now, if you're using an Xbox or X input, you need to change that. So in my case, I'm using an Xbox controller. So you want to change it to X input. And then just to confirm down here, just to make sure it works, you want to move your sticks. You can kind of see this dot moving around. That's me moving my sticks to make sure it works. So now you want to click save. And it looks like it compiled those files that it needed to do. So now you just have to right click here and boot. And it might compile a few extra stuff, but from this point on, it should be ready to go playing the game and the mod. And if this works and everything, hopefully, if you guys followed along and everything works on your guys' end as well, please give this video a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all that great stuff. If you run into any more issues, try to take a screenshot and share it on a sharing site, or even finding the log in this. I mean, I can't really help you if you just say you have some of this stuff and not this stuff and it just didn't work. I can't really give you a recommendation based on that. So either screenshots or an actual log file, and I can try to help you. But this tutorial should have walked through everything as quickly and easily as possible. But as you can see, it's working. I'm going to boot up into a game to show you that everything works as well. Keep in mind, the Play Now works pretty much flawlessly. Dynasty works really good. I've played quite a few Dynasties already. The only mode that I've had issues with is the actual Road to Glory mode, where you play as a single player and you basically pick your position, play through high school, and get recruited to a college. That mode is kind of buggy. Like, every single time I launch it, it always has a bug in some sort of way. But as you can see, it's booted up. You can see you can select the team that you are most favorited for. So I like Michigan State. I know they blow this year and everything that's happened, but I'll just pick them. Show you that I selected them, and then it boots up into the main menu. So I want to choose Dynasty, continue without logging in, use existing, offline, begin Dynasty, and I don't know why, but I really love playing as Old Dominion because they're kind of a bad team and it's fun to build them up. So I'll choose them. Sign contract. Here you can undo the skill tree and put points into where you want them to be. But I'm just going through this as quickly as possible to show you that it works, because that's what I want you guys to enjoy this game. Hopefully the new one that's coming out, supposedly it was supposed to come out this year, during at the end of the year maybe, but I think it got pushed back to the end of summer next year. I just hope the game's good, but hey, if it's not, at least you can emulate the NCAA Football 14. This game's really fun, but let's see. Continue, play, and it looks like we're going against East Carolina. They have quite a bit of, I mean, it's pretty even, but they are a little bit better than Old Dominion. So hopefully this works. And in the bottom left, you'll sometimes see that it's compiling shaders. That's normal. So if you click
Glad to have you with us in the studio. I'm Reese Davis, bringing you the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 pregame show presented by Nissan.
Now, if you see fields like this,
the city of Greenville,
it's not
situated
that
on
big of a
Tar
deal.
River in North Carolina, is the setting for this college football game.
Close the emulator because I think I forgot to enable something. So click on configuration GPU and then do multi-threaded RSX. Click apply, save, boot again. Sorry about that. So, well, I guess it's a good time to showcase that it doesn't take too long to boot back up. I don't want to make this video too long, but I just want to show you guys and make sure that it works for you guys. Almost done. SPU cache building. See, it only took about 30 seconds to boot back up, so it's not that bad. This is a badass intro, but sometimes I wish I could just skip it. Revamped. Let me move this out of the way, the mouse. Go ahead and click start. I should be able to just continue where I left off. Yep. Play game. Dominion. Let's go. '83 verse 75 overall.
Hi
everybody. And then there we go. I just forgot to check that setting. You can tell that their pants are a little bit better too, like the texture didn't apply it. But as you can see, the field is working. It's not all just green.
We're in Greenville, North Carolina, where the teams are anticipating the kickoff.
I'll do like the first play of the game just to show you, you know.
Both teams have set their special teams onto the field.
Sometimes the screen does flicker, but
kickoff.
That's just something that
and with that, we kick off our season.
Out of the way.
James fields at the goal line. He's tackled at the 23-yard line.
But yeah, I mean, it's working. As long as you follow the video, it should be good to go. And like I said, if you like this video and everything works out, please
the quarterback brings his troops out onto
leave a
the
comment
field
saying that it worked, and please subscribe and all that good stuff.
In the gun with
I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.